Is Brad Holmes in love with Jared Goff more than we think? There is not a chance Jared Goff is that guy.
Adham, he won a playoff game. The Matthew Stafford did it in the Lions.
If you were an NFL GM and the Lions called you about Jared Goff, would you trade for him?
No,
the
absolutely
you would.
not.
No, you wouldn't. So appreciate that you have Brad Holmes, ladies and gentlemen. It's that simple.
Clap it up for Brad Holmes.
Yeah, round of applause.
Yeah.
Brad Holmes killing it. If the Detroit Lions win a playoff game, do you extend Jared Goff long term?
I do not. No, I do not, because then you fall into the
A
trap.
bunch of monkeys that work here, you know that?
You fall into the trap that plagued the Rams. Is they had Jared Goff, he was winning them playoff games, but he couldn't take them to that next level. And I think if you're at the point where you're winning a playoff game, don't get me wrong, I would be extremely happy if we won a playoff game. If Jared Goff won us a playoff game this year. But he's been proven that he can't be the guy to take you to that next level, to win you that championship. That's why you got to go out and get a Matthew Stafford. That's why you got to go out and get a better quarterback. And I don't think that Jared Goff is at that level. I don't think him being around this new regime will take him to that level. And I'm just not ready for it. I don't want to commit more money and more time to Jared Goff. I think he's in a perfect situation right now, to where we're not really ready to spend yet, so we have him allocating that money, and he's a bridge quarterback till we're ready to make that push, till we're ready to get over that hump, and then we move on from Jared Goff.
All right, fair enough. I do agree. The problem with the Rams' point is the Rams, under Jared Goff, when they paid him, he looked like a young up-and-coming franchise quarterback. I think that's the difference. Yes, I agree. If the Lions win a playoff game, hell, he can take them to the NFC title game. You're not paying him long term. Unless he is the actual reason why,
yes.
Which, let's be real, I don't think anybody expects that to be the case. You don't sign him long term. And even if he is the reason, maybe it was 1 year, one luck. You don't, 1 year of everything came together. I don't know. I don't expect him to be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. And I think, yeah, I want a Justin Herbert. I want a Joe Burrow. I want a Josh Allen. I want some of these players. But I can deal with Jared Goff for the next year or two if I need to.
Yes.
And do I think they can win 8, 9, 10 games, get to the playoffs, dare I say contend for the division in the third year of Dan Campbell? Yeah, I do. But the big but, and this is the question that'll always be lingering, is Brad Holmes in love with Jared Goff more than we think? I don't believe that to be the case. Given I just don't think Brad Holmes is stupid. And I think a stupid GM would take this version of Jared Goff and extend him on a 4-year, $120, $130 million contract. I just don't believe that to be the case. And I'm going to give Holmes the benefit of the doubt for sure over the coming years, but you don't sign Jared Goff long term. I don't care if he turns water into wine. There is not a chance Jared Goff is that guy. I think it's proven. Sean McVay told you he wasn't that guy. The Rams gave you 2 first-round picks to tell you that he's not the guy. Everything's in front of you. And you saw how well he played, by the way, down the stretch last year, right? Got to give him credit. Give me that Jared Goff this entire year. I would be very happy with that. But Jared Goff is in the class of Ryan Tannehill. Just under the class of Jimmy Garoppolo. So he's a Sam Darnold-ish, Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield. That's what he is. And you can win with those guys, by the way. You can win football games. But that doesn't mean you go out and pay him 20, 30, 40, 50 million. I promise you right now the Dallas Cowboys regret paying Dak Prescott. I promise you that. They regret paying Ezekiel Elliott. They overpaid their quarterback, who wasn't a franchise quarterback. Let's just call it what it is. And then they overpaid a fat running back who's fat. And running backs aren't supposed to be fat. You know? Yeah. Offensive linemen are supposed to be fat, not running backs.
That's fair.
So this is the problem I have with anybody saying, 1, that the Lions would consider it, and 2, that they should. I just don't agree. I think there's no chance in hell. He could win a playoff game. And you could hold it to my head,
Adham, he won a playoff game. The Matthew Stafford did it in the Lions.
You guys want to play that game? You be my guest. You can have fun with it. I don't care. At the end of the day, he's not a franchise quarterback. And if he's good, Great. That means I have the next 2-3 years to figure out who the franchise quarterback is. Is it Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis? Who is it from next year? Is it somebody from the year after? Is it Archie Manning? Who knows? But I have time if I have time. I don't have to panic. A lot of the problems with drafting a quarterback every year if you're one of the bad teams is your roster sucks. Mm-hmm. Any young quarterback that walks into this team is going to be very happy. So you have time. This reminds me a lot of the Kansas City model a little bit, and maybe not to the T, but the idea of having an Alex Smith for a few years, dealing with it, sitting your rookie quarterback for a year that you traded up to get. By the way, they traded up to 10 to get Patrick Mahomes, and they were 12-4 that year and won their division. So yes, it is possible. Is it 95% guaranteed? 90%? No, it's not. Nothing is ever guaranteed in the NFL, especially the quarterback position.
Yeah, and in a perfect world, this is the Kansas City situation. This is the Green Bay situation where you have a quarterback waiting in the wings. You have that old veteran who's going to play for a couple years, and then he's going to move out, and you're going to move your young stud in. But even if that doesn't happen, and we're in a situation of the Broncos, or we're in a situation of the Cleveland Browns where you bring in a young quarterback, he doesn't work out.
Fish, I swear to God, you ever do that again, I'll fucking kill you. All right.
This quarterback...
Don't interrupt, Spencer. Damn it.
I got it.
So sorry, bestie.
No, it's fine. That kind of threw me off, Fish. Not gonna lie, I didn't think your voice could get that deep.
That's what I'm saying.
So, back to my topic. If you bring in a young quarterback and they don't work out, and you have a Browns or a Broncos situation, you can package that young quarterback and go get yourself an established veteran quarterback who is still hungry, who still has fight left. You're not going out and you're trading for an Aaron Rodgers who's at the tail end of his career, but you trade for one of these guys that is proven, and you have that young quarterback to package. Look what the Rams did. They did it with Jared Goff. Why can't we do it with Jared Goff and trade him and some other picks for a guy if our rookie doesn't work out?
Look, you're 100% on the money. And you know what? A lot of people say, well, you can package Jared Goff. Look, guys, I'm going to offer you some advice. And I swear, if you think like this, it'll change your life. You ready? If you were an NFL GM and the Lions called you about Jared Goff, would you trade for him?
No,
the
absolutely
fuck you would.
not.
No, you wouldn't. I would rather die than trade for Jared Goff. I would rather lose my job as a GM than trade for Jared Goff. That's the point. So, a lot of people that are just throwing things out there. Well, in a year you could trade him. Or, if he plays well, his stock goes up. No, it's not how this works. Mm-hmm. There will not be a trade for Jared Goff in 2-3 years. His contract will either A, run out, or B, you cut him because you drafted a franchise quarterback and he's ready. It's that simple. And I think, again, Spencer, you're right. There is no scenario with Jared Goff where it's like, oh, man, we got Jared Goff.
Yeah, we're happy.
I don't think anybody's happy, but...
His girlfriend's happy.
Hey.
I'd be happy.
Let's be real. I mean...
She's on the cover of Sports Illustrated in the swimsuit.
He's a $30 million quarterback. I think she's happy.
Eh.
Look, if I had $30 million in the bank, I would look a lot cuter than I am, all right? I fully understand.
Maybe he's got
I
a
hope
hog.
so.
We don't even know.
Hey, whoa. It's not the heavyweights over here.
Oh, God,
God
it
damn
is
it.
Friday.
Yeah, it is. Look, I do want to finish the Jared Goff conversation with this. I think we agree. Not a great quarterback.
Yes.
Okay? So what's the problem? He's average. And some games he's going to be better than average. There's going to be games where he, dick fumbles. Mm-hmm. And you have to accept it. And that's what you are. And it's okay. Because, if you finish 7-10, you're probably picking in the top 8. And if you finish 7-10, you can probably package another first-round pick along with a future and go get your guy if you wanted somebody from this draft class. See, thank God we have Brad Holmes. We weren't, one of those dumb, stupid bitches. You know who you are. That wanted Malik Willis at number 2.
Hey, chill. I was just thirsty. I said it on BDE. I knew they weren't going to do it.
I've heard worse takes than yours.
I said I knew they weren't going to do it, but I was thirsty for a quarterback.
At least you're reasonable. Yeah. What I'll say to all the Malik Willis talk, again, is the Lions would have taken him in the 3rd round. I would have had no problem.
Yes.
But you just don't reach for a guy when there's Aiden Hutchinson on the board, when there's Kayvon Thibodeau on the board, and then you trade up to 12 and there's Jameson Williams on the board. Like, you just don't do that stuff. And I'm glad there's a GM in town that understands that. Because I promise you, if this was Bob Quinn's draft, Cole Strange goes number 2 overall, and Malik Willis goes at 12. But instead of trading pick 66, the Lions give up 4 future first-round picks to move up 20 spots. That's what Bob Quinn would have done. So appreciate that you have Brad Holmes, ladies and gentlemen. It's that simple.
Clap it up for Brad Holmes.
Yeah, round of applause.
Yeah.
Brad Holmes killing it 2 years in. Again, he's doing all you can ask a GM to do. Surround the team with talent. Don't strap up the salary cap with bad contracts. He signed a lot of players to one-year deals. I believe the only multi-year deal is Jamal Williams. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's only Jamal Williams. Mm-hmm. And then you're drafting players. Look, I mean, the heavyweights were one of the first people to talk about this. Malcolm Rodriguez. You know, we'll get to him at, 928? But to talk about him briefly, you have a lot of people in Detroit that are spending a lot of time on this saying, hey, Malcolm Rodriguez, probably an impact player this year. Excuse me? What, the 5th-round draft pick?
Yeah.
So you're telling me the 4th-round draft pick last year and the 5th-round draft pick last year are going to be X-factor players? Again, you'd find me a GM that's been in this town that has had anybody this hyped outside of, let's be fair, Bob Quinn obviously drafted one of the most, let's call it what it is, I think the sleeper of the draft. It was a home run. Jelani Tavai, that was some next level stuff.
And Tease Tabor, man.
Tease Tabor. I mean, you're talking
set the league on fire.
You're talking excellent draft choices that just changed the league. Everybody wanted to be like the Detroit Lions over the last 8 years.
Jared Davis got him back.
Got him back. God, you know what? I hope he gets cut. I don't want to see him on the field. I know people are optimistic about him. I mean, he looks good on the field when he's healthy. The problem is he's never healthy, and then he can't cover a lick, but, you know, that's a whole different problem.
I remember one of the worst takes my friend Chris ever said when Jalen Ramsey was on the block. I was like, we should trade Jared Davis, somebody else for Jalen Ramsey. We need that lockdown corner. He's like, I don't want to trade Jared Davis, a solidified defensive captain.
Are you still friends with that guy?
100 tackle seasons.
Are you still friends with him?
Yeah, I stood up at his wedding.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.